Hey everybody, my name's John. Everybody calls me Johnboy. It's my nickname, I guess. My family's got a real steep history in moonshining. I just found out recently that two of my great-great-grandfathers were old moonshiners back in the day. One come from the German side of the family, the other come from the Irish side of the family. So that was pretty neat to find that out. And then found out that my grandfather was actually a bootlegger, and I'd done quite a bit of that myself back in the day. And I guess things kind of come full circle now. Used to do just a little bit of mash making and stuff with my buddies, and while they run and stuff, because I used to brew beer all the time, and you brew beer, you know, make mash for moonshine. But now fixing to be an owner of a legal distillery here, and it's great, it's fun, and I use a whole lot of moonshine in my cooking and barbecue sauces these days. It's a blast. Oh, my first memory of moonshining was being up at White Oak with my buddies, and I believe we drank more of it than we made. It seemed that way anyway, and woke up a day or two later with a pretty bad headache. My cooking is going crazy these days. Just got through being featured on a TV show, Moonshiner, Smoke Ring, with Tickle, and got to film with him. It's pretty fun. But we've got a food truck and fixing to open up a restaurant and distillery. But man, I'm using all kinds of different moonshines from all my buddies that bring it down. They're moonshiners as well, and I feature their shines in my sauces and my cooking. And I always give them a shout out on Facebook and Twitter and everything else, and kind of promote them a little bit with it. Man, I make pulled pork, brisket, pork chops, burn-ins, steaks, fish, you name it, I can do it. Some of my very first memories on doing that was actually bootlegging. I was doing a little bit of cooking and stuff, and these guys, you know, I'd buy the moonshine from them, then I'd take and cut it, make flavors out of it, and I would hide jars in with my barbecue sauce jars, and then we'd go to places and we'd make a delivery to racetrack and this and that, and then we'd also, where I used to race go-karts, we run methanol, and I'd go pick up a load of methanol, and then I'd pick up an extra load of jugs. So what I would do is I'd take the red lids and put on the methanol. And then I'd take the blue lids, because it's supposed to burn blue for the moonshine, and we'd take that from racetrack to racetrack. So we were selling fuel, and then we were selling fuel. Somebody wanted to buy a jug, and you say, well, which one do you want, the red or the blue? One of them was $2.50, the other was about $100. I know we had some mash that go bad on us one time. And of course, we were hung over pretty bad, and we went to go check it. And of course, being hung over, you know, you got gas pretty bad. So we didn't know if we was farting or if that mash had soured on us. It was bad. We all got sick, we all throwed up, and we ended up dumping that mash out because it was bad. Of course, we were pretty bad too. So well, back in the day, you know, we didn't have much money, so we'd run a sugar wash and stuff, but we had some that was corn, and just basically corn, and we used to use oatmeal and different things like that, and some of it turned out good, some of it didn't. You know, and I really didn't know much of the history, you know, behind the family doing that stuff, so I said, hey, this seems like fun. And then I guess the deal about maybe getting caught, the rush from that, and then the rush from, you know, hauling it and bootlegging, that I can't race anymore, you know, but that gave me a rush doing that. Family history means so much, and I'd like to preserve our family history by doing this. I don't want them to remember us kind of like not really being Robin Hoods, but you know, we give back to our community a whole lot, and that's something me and my moonshine buddies do, is we give back a whole lot. Just because you're moonshiners, it don't mean you're a bad person. They're actually some of the best people I've ever been around my whole entire life. It's like a big family, a big brotherhood. Everybody watches out for everybody, and if you need a hand, somebody will lend it to you. I was in my late 20s, probably early 30s whenever I started bootlegging. You know, I was still kind of young, full of piss and vinegar and that sort of thing. It's just something I wanted to do. My buddy Terry, we used to brew beer together all the time, and we made our own brew system. You know, a little microbrewery. We made it, you know, out of 15-gallon stainless Bud Light kegs. And whenever we made like a worm to cool the mash and stuff, or not the mash, but the wort down, we got to thinking, you know, we do this, we could make a moonshine still. And basically, we taught ourselves, you know, how to do just about everything. And then what we, you know, seen on the internet, we learned a whole lot from that. Johnboy's barbecue right now is growing by leaps and bounds. It is insane. We stay covered up. It's like the food truck's out right now. I've been cooking all night and half this morning to get ready for that, and then feed everybody here. We're fixing to open up a brand new restaurant, plus keep the food truck going. We've got a lot of big events planned all across the Southeast, just not East Tennessee, but we're going into North Carolina, maybe down in Georgia, maybe into Kentucky here really soon. I started off racing go-karts and running on dirt and asphalt, and I raced those for quite a long time. I ended up winning 2 state championships, one on dirt, one on asphalt. Ended up winning a national title and being a national title runner-up the same year. And then we moved into stock cars and drove what they call the Pro 4 class for a long time, and then moved up into sportsman late models. It took me right at 5 races to win. And 3 of the 5 races I was under geared, and Dad finally put the gear to me and we won, but we qualified to pole probably about 4 out of the 5 weeks leading up to that win. Adrenaline rush. I'm an adrenaline junkie. Back whenever I first, got into all this, Popcorn Sutton was legend. Legend. We actually had some of his Moonshine back when I was racing. We were racing down in Maryville, and his place wasn't too awful far back, down through the Dragon and stuff, getting down through there. But, you got a lot of the local heroes and stuff that used to be around here. And like right now, there's probably 5 stills within 2 miles of this place, and there's only 1 of them legal. But the old man out the road, I can't mention his name, but he still, got a still. He was a legend. There's another one that I'm related to that out the road's got another, and I always looked up to them. Of course, you'd always go to one of them's little birdhouse and open the door on the birdhouse, and there'd be a bottle sitting in there for you to sample. You go out, feed the cows in the morning and get you a nip and put it back. 30 years from now, I see myself being retired, but watching my kids run our business and continue the moonshining life, but legally. One of my favorite songs by Leonard Skinner is called Simple Man. And if you listen to every single word of that, that's the way you need to live your life. That's one of the best written songs ever about how to live your life. Keep it simple. Be humble.